Hi and welcome. I'm John and this is Unique Wargaming Terrain. Guys, welcome back. For everyone that's new, this is a Let's Build video. What are Let's Build videos about? Well, I take a model kit and I show you how to put it together. Now, the reason for this is some people suffer with dyslexia and other people struggle with instructions and everything else. Sometimes there's tricky bits on the sprue that you guys know about. Sometimes there's things that are numbered wrong on the sprue. If you're interested in a new faction but not sure about how the models go together, it's a visual aid for you. Or if you want a big model and you're like, oh, it looks very complicated to put together, again, these videos always help with anything like that. So for all my regulars here, guys, I feel love, thank you very much. I'll see you in a second. Right, so if you're a regular here, you would have seen all the big models we've put together recently. I need to I still have loads more big models, but I need to step back a little bit and just, try and work away on a few different other little things. So today, I'm going to add this amazing model. It's an Aeldari Farseer on a Skyrunner, the Skyrunner being the jet bike. Now, this model is actually brilliant because you can have him as a Farseer or a Warlock. The only difference between the two is the head. Okay, so I've already looked at the instructions. So before we get into that, tools needed as always. Mold line scraper. Now you can use a hobby knife or a surgical blade or something like that, but if you do use a blade, let people know you're using a blade so nobody comes up to say something to you and scares you and you're cutting yourself. But if you're using a blade, always be careful, guys. I use sanding sponge, which is a sponge with 2 bits of sandpaper in between, on the outside, sorry. This is brilliant for getting into little pieces, and like on the last Let's Build Vash Tour, he's got loads of cables and wires, so it's easy to get into and clean things like this. Especially on this model, it's probably going to be loads of little thin pieces that need to be gently cleaned down. We have clippers, most useful part of our tool. And it's a plastic kit, so I have plastic glue, but I have super glue at hand just in case. As is on the last build, I had to use super glue on the wings. Anyway, for everyone that's new now, what we do is we have a look at the sprue, or in this case sprues, and determine what we can see and just break the sprue up so it's easier for us when we're putting models together. So this looks like the base of the jet bike where your man sits, because it looks like a seat. Body, legs, looks like the back end of him. There's Witchblade, Singing Spear, I think that's what they're called, but there's 2 open arms anyway. There's the Warlock head. Okay, these 2 things, I don't know where they go. We also have the chassis of the jet bike. There's the Warlock, the Farseer's helmet. Looks absolutely fantastic. Look at the gems on there. It looks like dorsal fins, shrunken catapults, the handlebars. Don't know what these 2 yokes are, or these other little bits. But yeah, so we're should be a nice easy build today. Or this video should be a nice easy build. Now this model does come with a flying stand. Okay. Those of you who don't know what flying stands, this end clips into there, and then this top part is like a little ball bit on it. That actually can't really see, it's clear and this light's reflected a bit. That sits underneath the model, so the model sits on top. Now, I don't mess with this, okay, until I've undercoated the model. Only because I find it easier than, if I put that together and glue the model to it, I've then got to masking tape that up before I spray it down. And then just take the masking tape off and it's, you got your flying stand still. One other thing with the flying stands, some people will gravel this. You could do that, you don't need to do that, it's not a big issue. So I'm going to finish getting set up and I'm going to come back with the first pieces. Well, as I expected, the first 2 pieces are number 1 and number 2. So these 2 pieces here. So I'm going to snip them off, clean them down and show you how they go together. Right, so this is very straightforward. As you can see, this little bit on the end, there's a little bit that sticks out, there's a little bit that, come on, focus, and that just slots in there, like so, yeah, but little bits like that on the end there. Once you put glue on that, that's going to go, because that's smooth as anything, but it just seems to have marked. But anyway, I'm going to glue that together and get rid of that horrible joint. I mean, look at that piece there. And then let's get rid of that anyway. So I'm going to take that little piece off, glue it together, and I'll come back and show you the next pieces. And the next piece we need is number 4, which is this crazy little piece. I'm going to snip it, clean it, and show you where it goes. Now, this is a little fiddly piece, so be careful, guys. Now, there's a cross section here, and this basically just slots in. Okay, you'll see that the little funny pattern goes together. It just goes in there, so it gives you like a little, for the flames to come out when it travels along. I'm going to glue it into place. And the next one we need is number 3, which is the handlebars. I'm going to snip it, clean it, and show you where it goes. This piece is very straightforward as well. It just slots in there. Okay. Don't drop it. I was lucky. It just slots in there. So I'm going to glue that into place before I drop it again and come out for the next piece. My next piece is number 6, which is this little bar here. I'll snip it, clean it, show you where it goes. Right, so we have to do this one. This is for the underneath now. Now this little bar here, so it's going to, has a weird little rigid shape here. That goes to the front of the bike like that. Okay, so that goes in there like that. Just literally just slots in. So this is where his feet are going to sit. So I'm going to glue that into place, and we'll come for the next piece. Right, the next piece we need is number 5, which is this little piece down here. I'm going to snip it, clean it. That's what it looks like. Snip it, clean it, and show you where it goes. Now this piece again is very simple. That's the bit you want at the front, and the great front part, and it literally goes in there. There is one way of it going because one side is bigger than the other. Literally just slots in there like that. Okay, you can see the way it connects in. Got my big thumb in the way. Yeah. So I'm going to glue that into place and we'll come back for the next piece. Right, so the next pieces that I needed are number 7, which is this piece, and number 13. You can already see how it goes, guys. I'm going to clip them off, clean them down, and show you how they do go together, but it's very simple. Right, it's very, very simple. Just slots in. Okay, make sure 2 holes at the top are lined up. What is wrong with this camera today? Yeah, nice and easy. And how this goes on the bike, very straightforward. That's it. So I'm going to glue that on. Right, the next pieces that we need are 23 and 24, which are these 2 annoying, well not annoying pieces, but these 2 little funny pieces. So I'm going to clean them off, clip them, clean them, and show you where they go. Now I don't think it matters what side they go, but this is number 24, this is number 23, okay? Now basically, this bad boy goes in there. Okay, on that side? Yeah, it's that side. Goes in there like that. Okay, the other one goes in the other side. Okay, so there's a little hole there. Focus your silly camera. Goes into there like that. You did one on each side, so I'm going to glue them into place and come back to you for the next pieces. So here's what it looks like. Yeah. Stop focusing on everything else. Something I'm doing really wrong here with the camera. I don't know what it is. I will figure it out, guys. Right, so the next one's needed are number 8 and number 9. Okay, then number 9 is this side. Number 8 is this side. Again, I don't think it really matters what side it is, but I think it might do with these. And I'm going to clean them off, clip them down, clean them off, and show you where they go. Right, so bottom here there's a square. Okay, and it literally just sits in there like so. The other one goes on the other side. I think it's meant to be an angle actually. I think it's meant to be, yeah, something like that. Anyway, I'm going to glue them in and come back and we'll look for the next pieces. One thing I forgot to do was show you the stat line, as I usually do. My apologies, guys. So, you can have it as a Farseer or a Warlock, Skyrunner, okay? They both have movement 16. This Farseer is 2s to hit in combat and shooting. The Warlock is 3s. They're both toughness 3. 4 wounds apiece. No, sorry. Strength 3. Toughness 4. The Farseer has 6 wounds. The Warlock has 3. Both have 2 attacks. Leadership 9, leadership 8, and 4 up armor save. There's probably a heap of other little special rules that go with them. I keep forgetting I forgot to show you that, guys. I do apologise. So anyway, the next pieces that are needed are the little man now. So what we need is number 15 and 16. Okay, these 2 pieces. I'm going to strip them off, clean them down, and show you how they go together. Very straightforward. Right, so basically it just sits on there like so. Okay, very, very easy, very straightforward. I'm going to glue that into place. Right, so the next ones we need are 17 and 18. Again, it's very straightforward. I'm going to clip them, clean them, show you how they go. That's very straightforward. Again, there's the little holes. They literally just slot into each other. It just sits like that. I can't put that in properly, but it just basically sits like that. If you want to have it so you saddle the jet bike, or the Skyrunner, shall I say, and the top half is flat for the body to go into. So I'm going to glue those together, and obviously the body just sits on top there, so I'm going to glue the body on, because then we're going to come to the next part of it. Right, so then you have a choice where you either make it a Farseer or a Warlock. I'm going to make this guy a Warlock, because I have a Farseer on foot already. So the Warlock head is here, which is number 21. Okay. The Warlock can only have the spear, whereas the Farseer can have the sword or the spear. So I'm going to snip the spear, snip the head. There's his other arm. So obviously this is his right arm, that's his left arm. Self-explanatory where they go. I'm going to snip those off, clean those down, glue those onto him. Now, he goes on the bike, something like that. I think it's meant to come forward a bit. Yeah, like that it's meant to go. So his little feet sit on the little bits there. So I'm going to glue him onto the bike and then clip these pieces off and clean those down and then just glue them on. So I don't need to show you that. Head goes to the hair, the spear goes that side, the other arm goes this side. I think the other arm actually connects from his body to the handles of the bike, which is nice and easy. And then come back for the 2 final pieces. So here's where we're at so far. Now, excuse me, there's a few things I'm not happy with at this stage. I don't like the way the legs are. I think it's positioned I think the cut on them was slightly wrong. I'm not 100% sure now because look, the foot that side hooks over the top of the thing, and that's the side. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I'll move it that way. Actually, I've still got a bit of play. This is why I want to use plastic glue, not super glue, because you've still got a little bit of play with it. Seems to be better. Just a little bit of plastic glue there. The spear is a pain in the ass to get on there properly. As you can see on that arm, there's a little bit I've missed, but don't panic. If you find any bits like that afterwards, there's a bit on the spear at the back there. Yeah, don't panic, because you can use sanding sponge afterwards. Once it's all dry, all cured, all proper plastic, you can actually, I say proper plastic, it's all plastic, but I mean it's proper one piece. You can gently go along and clean it and clean it and clean it, no problem. Now, one thing I would say as well, when you're building this, the Warlock has a spear only, okay? I'd put the spear arm on first. because if you break the spear or you can't get it right and it messes up, and you can then just switch to the blade and change it to a Farseer. Unless you actually want the Warlock, then you have to keep going. But yes, looking pretty good, I think. I like that. Anyway, for the next piece, the other thing I'd actually say is maybe I should have. You can't really put them together first because you have to position them on the bike. I don't know. It's more difficult. This model's more difficult than I thought it would be. I thought it'd be very simple, straightforward. It is straightforward, but it's just the few bits that are very complicated on it. Right, so the next piece that we need, we don't need that sprue anymore, that's finished. We need number 12, which is this piece here, and number 11. Now there's two of these, I didn't know what they're for. One's for the Farseer, one's for the Warlock. So basically you see there's two holes there. Okay, flip this one over. There's two holes there. That slots into it, and that slots in the front of the bike there. But I'm going to glue those to bits, clean those, glue those together, and then I'll glue them into the front of the bike here. Because that's where it goes, in there. Okay, so I'm going to put that in there, and then I'll come back and show you the last piece. I thought I'd show you this before I put it in. There's a little square in the middle there, yeah, and see there's a little lip at the back there. But this piece has a little square peg sticking up, and there's a little lip at the back. So it basically just sits in there. I'm actually going to put some glue into it now. I'll show you what I mean. It's pretty straightforward because it's like a teardrop and it goes in that way. Of course, the camera's on, you don't want to go in. Of course you do. Get in there. I'm going to go off camera and put him in because he doesn't seem to want to go in, the camera's rolling. That's why I do want to go in. The little pin sticking up, you have to snip that off. See that on the instructions, snip that off, and then it just slots in nicely. So there we have it, guys. One more piece, sorry. How could I forget the most important piece on this Skyrunner? This piece here, number 14. The shrunken catapult. So I'm going to snip that, clean that, and show you where it goes. And this one is very straightforward. There's a little clip, a little groove. It just clips into there, like so. So I'm going to glue that into place, and then we are done. Leave the camera rolling, it's take me 2 seconds to do this. Absolutely fantastic. I love it. Says he wants me to take the ones from the combat patrol box now, put them together. They're normal Guardians riding Skyrunners. So anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, it's helped you in any way, whether it be putting this model together yourself, or whether it be something you're stuck on this model, or whether it be just you're interested in a new army, or you like the look of this model, you know, if you're not subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button. It costs you absolutely nothing, and it helps the channel in a massive way, and turn your notifications on so you don't miss anything. Thank you all for watching. I'm going to bring you down and show you some pretty pictures of him. Now bear in mind, he's not in his flying stand, because I'm not going to do that, so I don't want to get the bollock of having to masking tape all this to spray him, then take the mask tape off. I'd rather just spray him like this, and then when that's dry, flip him and spray the underneath, and then when that's dry, I glue him into his flying stand. But I'm going to bring you down and show you some pretty pictures. Until next time, take it easy.